Today we are interviewing the owners of RV Destinations Magazine, the only magazine with a destination in mind. We are interviewing Randy and Callie. They are the photographer and writer of the magazine. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
How you guys?
So stick around to the end because we have a 20% off discount coupon for you to share with you at the end. So let's begin.
So just, I guess, tell us a little bit about yourselves. What are your real lives like before we dive into the magazine?
Oh,
Whew, busy.
yeah. So we both have been in the investment field pretty much our whole professional career, working with clients with their individual retirement plans and stuff like that. She was focused more on the insurance side, and I've been more focused on the investment side. So we also I've been shooting photography for about 30 years too. I was doing landscapes. I had a couple of images published, and I got into fitness photography and had some of my work there published. And then we actually went into wedding for a little bit and really actually enjoyed wedding. Most people think that that's a terrible job. It's really not a bad gig if you don't get the bridezilla, right? And then Callie has written a book, and she's been always a really good writer, and she's always been just really trying to figure out, where that could take place at, and how to develop that out and stuff like that. And so we had some key things that really started the magazine. Issue 1, I think we wrote and took all the pictures in that magazine. I think there was one other writer in that magazine, and so we're thankful that we've got wonderful writers like you guys, and we got about 14 writers now in the magazine, so we're thankful. That takes the pressure off of us. But so that's kind of we live in a little bit north of Louisville. Callie grew up in actually Pennsylvania, and they moved to Columbus. I'm from northern Kentucky, outside of the Cincinnati area, but now we live a little bit north of Louisville here on the beautiful Ohio River.
Mm-hmm. It's usually a lovely shade of mucky brown. Yeah.
We live in New York. We know that color.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we tell ourselves.
So you're not full-time RVing at this time. You're still doing your regular jobs, and you have a home.
Absolutely. And I don't know if so we're in the house right now, and I don't know if we ever would full-time RV. We go out, we'll spend, I think the longest we'd been out was 40 days.
Wow.
Somewhere around
40
there.
days.
We love RVing, and we'll be here in our home for 2 weeks, and we'll be jonesing to go back out and get on the road and take our RV somewhere new and fun. So
yeah, I've always said the same thing. I don't know why anybody wants to get rid of their home. I mean, you still got families, and for me, long hot showers, indoor plumbing. I like that kind of thing. I want my house, but also camp too. So I totally get it. How did you get started in the magazine?
So Randy and I love hiking, and we are convinced that given enough hikes and enough time that we could probably solve all the world's problems, because we get out there and hike for miles on end and just talk and talk and talk about everything under the sun. And we were hiking one of these times, and we were just talking about there's some of the RV magazines out in the industry that we subscribe to, and I have kept over the years, because there's usually like one destination in each of them. And I'm like, I'm keeping all these magazines, and hopefully, one day we can just grab a stack of them and go to some of these different places in there. And I'm like, wouldn't it be great if there was a magazine dedicated just to destinations for RVers and campers? And we're talking about that. We're like, oh, that'd be so great. And why hasn't anybody thought of that? And we're like, why don't we do it? So it was just, I have an acquaintance of mine that I worked with for many years, and her husband he had a family publishing company, and they published magazines. So they were a great resource for us to sit down with and get some good ideas of how to launch the magazine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we went back and forth between a print version and digital. And at the end of the day, our shackles are kind of taken off of us when we go digital, because most print magazines are usually 30, 40, 50 pages, sometimes 60, because they've got certain costs to deliver that. And whereas our current issue 4, or our issue that's getting ready to come out, issue 4, I think is around 380 pages. And so we really can push out a ton of content, and
we're not limited, which is great.
Yeah. So we early on decided digital is the only way to go. And after all, I mean, who doesn't have, a cell phone or an iPad sitting around close? So
Yep, laptops, everything else. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there was that one instance that there was something missed, a photo credit or something, and you were able to correct it and push the magazine right back out again. You couldn't do that in print.
That's exactly right. And that's a huge benefit that, because we try to do all our checks to make sure everything's perfect, but there's always something that like, oh gosh, we missed that.
Yeah.
We'll go back and change it and push it back out. So you're right. That's a huge value. If it went out in print, then that's gone.
Yeah. Yep.
And now you said at the beginning you were writing a lot of it yourself. Were they destinations that you've already been, or have you had anything where you want to go, or both?
Both, actually. So a lot of places that we had been, but also places that, we get there and we realize, because we've been RVing and camping for 9 years. We're like, oh my gosh, we've been to quite a few places, and wouldn't it be great to share some of these places with other folks? And then, thought about, hey, where are some places we think people would like to go, and what would they like to hear about?
So we had of course, the photography, me being the photographer and her being the writer, that really started getting us thinking. And I wrote some articles in the first issue. You can always tell my articles are definitely not as descriptive and good, for that matter, as Callie's. But we wrote pretty much all that. We did make up some pen names because we didn't want every single.
By Randy, by Callie, by Randy. By Callie.
Right. So there may be some faux pen names in there for the first issue. But after the first issue, they're all legit names. But yeah, we had a lot of great images from the Southwest. What a great place to start, Southwest and Key West. And so we did have a full-time RVer. Tracy Russell was his name, that wrote an article. His was it Glacier, the first one?
I think it was on Glacier.
Can't remember for sure, but yeah, he was the only person to join us in that very first issue. So. But yeah, we wrote most of the content in that, and all those are pretty much our pictures.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. We've been writing for you for a couple issues now, and we were just discussing last night what we were going to write about next, because now we've got a bunch of little stuff this year because Kevin got a new job. So we're trying to decide, do we start writing about some of the other places we've been to, a couple of years ago, or do we write about the things that are upcoming?
Yeah.
And again, we do both. Some of the places are active that we've been to, some places that or we're going to, some places we've already been to, and have all the images and had a great time. And and I'm sure it happens to you. It happens to every camper and RVer. You get out there to a new campground, and you meet people, you talk to people, and they're like, oh, I was just at such and such a place, and it's so great, and you should check it out. And you're like, okay. So it's like in my phone and under Google Maps, I have like all these places saved of where we want to go next.
Well, and we've got a big list of probably 20 locations that we visited, that we've got all the pictures, all the notes, and all that, because she's got a little brown leather book that she writes all her notes, what she's going to write about. And, for instance, we just got back from Memphis, I was sharing before we started the video, and I grew up pretty big Elvis fan, and so I feel like I'm going to write the Graceland one, and I'm excited to write it. And she's going to write on Memphis itself, but I'm going to write on Graceland. So, but yeah, we love to do it. And we love your Niagara Falls. We're getting so many positive comments on that article,
great.
especially because we just posted on Instagram. We've gotten several people that were like, that was a great article. So
That's awesome.
That's really cool. It was a nice surprise to see the photo and the tag go out too. We had a bunch of people, friends of ours, that were like, hey, did you see this?
Yeah.
Cool.
And we're going to try to do more of that. Try to help pump out your names, and because we do appreciate all the writers that we have. Every one of, if we could just keep all 14 writers we got now and keep giving us content, we'll be happy as long, because the picture taking's great. The writing's excellent, and so we're just really happy with all our writers.
Sure. Is there a specific, I don't know, I don't want to say style, but is there a certain like format that you prefer in like the writing that you receive or that you do for the magazine?
Not
Yes and no. I mean,
no. I say it's a solid no. I'm overruling her. And the reason that is because we want the variety. Because I might appeal to a certain RVer that hates her writing, and then vice versa. She's going to appeal to some RVers that will hate my writing, and so we like that variety. And we've got some people that write first person. We got some people that do it, but basically like a third person, like an author telling the story. And so we like that. We want that. We highly encourage that. So.
Well, the magazine's doing really, really well. You started off as a quarterly magazine, and now you're bumped it up to. Are you every other month now, or are we every month?
That's right. So
every month.
starting in 2021, and a lot of that was because of picking up so many good writers. We started out, we were worried about overcommitting, and so we didn't want to overcommit. So we started out quarterly, and then very quickly we learned that we've got enough people supplying content that we could go every other month. So we're going every other month, but then we'll have the 2 special issues every year, and that's the campground notables. We'll put that out every year, and that's really just a compilation of all the campgrounds for the whole year, and we make that free to everybody. And then we're getting ready to come out June 1st with roadside attractions and hikes. And so that too is going to be like a compilation of all the roadside attractions and the hikes. To get the destinations, you got to subscribe to the magazine. We're not going to give that away, but we are going to give away the campground information free and stuff like that. So, but so it would be a total of 8 issues per year.
That's
awesome.
Where do you see the magazine going in the future? Do you think you're gonna? I don't know how you would expand, but do you think you're gonna go more often? I don't know how.
Is it going to be the full-time job?
I don't know.
Yes, it is. Most days it is.
That's a good. I don't think it'll ever be full time. It's pretty much accounting for probably half of my week now, maybe a third of Callie's week, something like that. And then, because we do have a lot of support. We do have an amazing designer, as you know, you see his work firsthand. You guys have seen all the magazines, and he does a great job. And we got 2 editors, and then of course, as I've said multiple times, 14 writers. So that really takes a lot of load off of us. And so I would love to think that down the road we would go to every other month. I really have a goal of getting to 200,000 subscribers. That's my personal goal, 200,000 subscribers. Motorhome Magazine, I think I checked, and Trailer Life both. I know they come together now.
Yeah,
they're under RV now, but prior to that, they had like 285,000 subscribers or something like that. And I would love, honestly, if we hit 100 or 150, I'd be ecstatic. But that would be our goal, to be up around there, and just to be well known. We're starting to get. We were in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and a guy stopped me. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've been a subscriber. I love your magazine." And that's so. It is. It is so great. It's like, wow, we really have put something special together here, and that's pretty much what everybody says, because it is so much content. And, we have so many great writers. So
we had a guy too in Columbus, Texas, which is in the middle of nowhere at a really kind of remote campground. The guy camped next to us, and we had our big we have a big RV Destinations Magna shade on our windshield. And he came over and he's like, "I subscribe to that magazine." And I'm like, "Really?"
We gave a bunch of swag. We brought out our little thermos cups or whatever they are, and hats, and like, here you go. Loaded him up with a bunch of stuff and sent him on his way. But yeah, we're getting more and more. We were in Fiesta Key down in Fiesta Key RV Resort down in the Keys, and a lady reached out through Instagram and said, "Hey, we're parked 5-6 spots down from you. We'd love to know more about your magazine." And then it was like, I don't know, like up in somewhere else, just a few days later, that like hey, I'm a subscriber too. And you sent us a message, private message. We saw you at such and such resort. And so it's great to see that we're getting our name out there.
It's exciting. It's exciting to be, you know, recognized and the word getting out there and people seeing it as the resource that we've created it to be, you know, just something to grab a hold of, to open up beautiful images that really make you go, oh my gosh, I want to go there. Like, how do I get there? You know, what are the things that I should do and see while I'm there? And, you know, and our writers bring that to life, and it's awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Are you open to, I know obviously we've said 14 writers. Are you looking for more? Are you graciously accepting anybody who's willing, or how would somebody who wants to write go about sending you an article or you know, becoming part of the magazine?
That's a great question. And yes, we're always looking for great writers. And you know, we're really, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Step in, Cal. But I feel like this is speaking to me because I've been thinking a lot about this. But so we're always open to anybody submit an article. In fact, we've got on our website a way that someone could submit the article right to them, and we could accept it or reject it at that point. You know, we're always willing, because we do want to build a pool of destinations. And again, we're kind of okay with even repeating some destinations as long as they're not, you know, two issues from each other, because you might go to Niagara Falls and have one experience. We might go have a completely different experience.
Sure.
And I'm completely okay. And I think she's completely okay with us, you know, talking about that. So we're always open to have any writers out there, any of your followers of the channel. Reach out to us. You can go right to our website under content contributors, and you can submit ideas like, hey, I want to write on this. Is this something you would accept? And but yeah,
and we're looking for our readers.
I'm sorry.
The website is
www.rvdestinationsmagazine.com.
Yay. Okay.
I got to talk.
All right. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure that our viewers knew where they could go to submit articles to you.
Absolutely. And we're looking for more than just RVers. You know, we're looking for RVers, campers, boondockers, you know, whether you're, you know, camping for the first time and trying it out in the backseat of your car because you've never done this, or you've been RVing for 30 years, and everybody in between. That's who our magazine is created
even
for.
Tent campers. We feel like it, you know, I don't care if you're in a tent or in the backseat of a station wagon, all the way up to a motorhome. We feel like it's all the same desire to get out there and travel and see the world. Those are the people that we're interested in. And that's who the magazine, we've been trying to really hone down on who the demographics of RV destination, you know, subscriber is. And what we're finding is, you know, this is a, you know, 35 to 55-year-old man, wife that like to go out hiking. They're adventurous, they're free spirited, and that's really our demographic. So that's why we also include a lot of hiking, because it's near and dear to our heart. A lot of our writers are hikers too. We just brought on a hiker. The cover page, the cover photo of issue 4. You said you saw yesterday. That's Crystal Mill.
Stunning.
Yes.
She's an amazing photographer, big time hiker. Her name's Kelly Maw. She's out of Colorado, and she's going to start taking over the tips and tricks section of the magazine. So, so we're excited to have her. But anyway,
and like you said, it's not about how you go camping; it's about the destination. So
absolutely,
that's right.
Absolutely.
As long as you get out there and enjoy it.
Or how you stay when you get there.
we would absolutely publish someone that said, you know, we put our tent here, and maybe you shouldn't get so close to the creek, maybe back it up. You know, that's an article that's providing value to somebody that's in a tent. You know, a motorhome person might just overlook that, but that's okay. I feel like we do have some tent subscribers.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot, but I feel like we have some.
I think we have a few.
I just keep coming over the sky too. Yeah.
In fact, we've had somebody reach out that bought our magazine that says, we're not even RVers. We just like to see about the destination. We're thinking about one day getting a motorhome or a RV. I can't remember what they said, but so we're really trying to, you know, appeal to everybody.
Yeah,
that's great. That's wonderful. So, is there any place that you haven't written about yet that you really, really want to?
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
We could speak all day about that.
Laundry list.
This is my biggest bucket list thing is taking it up to Alaska, and it was supposed to happen this year. but COVID kind of threw that, Canada being closed, that kind of threw that out. So we're thinking about maybe next year, 2022 or 23. That's my big bucket list thing. I don't know if
I want to go to the Redwood Forest so bad.
so Sequoia National Park,
Sequoia
and
National
King
Park,
Canyon and all that. She wants
all
to
of
get out.
that out there. I want to see Glacier,
Yeah, but yeah, we haven't seen Glacier. That's pretty.
Yosemite on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of lists.
There's, yeah.
I'll say you could make that one big loop right there.
We take 6 months off and
Yeah.
yeah, get them all right. Yeah. Yeah, that's I would say my biggest one is the Alaska trip. I've been up to Alaska, but I flew up there a couple times. And have you guys been to Alaska?
No,
No.
unfortunately not.
It's just everywhere you look is a postcard. I mean, it's just amazing. And she hasn't been there. And I keep telling her about all she thinks is snow. That she's like, it's cold, it's snowing, I want to go.
And then mosquitoes.
Yeah. One or
Not
the
that
other.
Yeah. So hopefully we have one issue, that special edition, how to make your way up to Alaska.
Yeah.
So that, I'm hoping for that to be a big, might even be just a special issue magazine, not even part of the normal one. So
That'd be neat.
Yeah.
They'd have to read all about it. Live through you.
Hey. Well, come on, we'll invite everybody to go with us.
All
Yeah.
right.
Got a
Sounds
caravan
great.
all the way up.
There you go. Absolutely.
So the magazine started in what year? 2000.
July 2020.
July 2020.
All right, 2020. And once again, the website that anybody who would like to subscribe or for anybody who would like to contribute an article is
www.rvdestinationsmagazine.com.
That's great.
Does
And
so well.
I do. I sound like a commercial. It's cute. .com.
Well, we appreciate you having us on. We really do.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
Yeah.
thank you so much for all you do to make the magazine a success. We do, as I said prior to this, us getting on the Zoom here. We appreciate you guys very much and the support and all that. So
Yeah, and thank you so much. We know you're both very busy, so taking the time to do this is amazing. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we really appreciate it. And we really can't wait to introduce all of our subscribers to you. And then we're going to give them a discount and hopefully they'll come over and subscribe to your channel
That's right.
too.
yeah.